Greetings and welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into reparenting, exploring all of the tools and resources that you'll need to help you along your journey. This podcast is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading. The second is a discussion of the reading followed by suggested journal prompts. And the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us today. I'm so glad that you're here as we continue on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Before we dive in, a quick reminder. Like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Your support here helps spread the word and grow this community of self-reparenting. Now for a few updates. First, I'm excited to introduce our Patreon community, where for a small monthly fee, you can join us for 3 weekly reparenting support meetings. Sundays, we have a guided meditation for emotional grounding. On Tuesdays, we have a book club discussion for deeper discussions and growth. And on Thursdays, we have open topic conversations for real-time support on any topics that may come up. You can find all of the details about what's included in this community by going to the Reparenting Daily website and checking out the community tab. In addition, we now have a WhatsApp support group, a global network of fellow travelers available anytime you need encouragement, guidance, or a simple connection. This is just one of the many ways we're building a strong, supportive space for your reparenting journey. The next announcement is that I've just released my first few books. The first is the Reparenting Daily Journal, a structured 365-day guide to help you work through reparenting day by day. Starting in 2025, each month focuses on a key theme with weekly sub-themes. The Reparenting Daily podcast episodes align with the journal, making it an interactive and immersive experience to help you stay focused and ensure real progress this year. Now for the next announcement, I'm thrilled to introduce Fairy Tales for Reparenting Daily, a collection of 3 books inspired by Jungian analysis, mythology, philosophy, psychology, and most importantly, the work of Marie-Louise von Franz. These short, simple stories are designed to help you reconnect with your inner child and experience healing through storytelling. What makes these books unique? Well, at the end of each story, there's a deep dive analysis exploring its themes, explored by journal prompts to help you reflect on how these lessons relate to your personal journey. All of these books are now available on Amazon, so go ahead and take a look and support this project. Reparenting is a journey of growth, iterative change, and continuous improvement. Much like nurturing the bonsai tree, it requires patience, care, consistency, and attention. Thanks for being here and supporting this work, and for committing on your journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is again from The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Today we're going to be reading the agreement number 4, Don't Make Assumptions. Just a reminder, this is March, and the theme is building self-trust and self-confidence. We're in week 2, which is March 8th until the 14th, and the theme is keeping promises to yourself. Don't make assumptions. The 3rd agreement is don't make assumptions. We have the tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We could swear they are real. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally. Then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our word. That is why whenever we make assumptions, we're asking for problems. We make an assumption, we misunderstand, we take it personally, we end up creating a whole big drama for nothing. All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Take a moment to consider the truth of the statement. The whole war of control between humans is about making assumptions and taking things personally. Our whole dream of hell is based on that. We create a lot of emotional poison just by making assumptions and taking it personally, because usually we start gossiping about our assumptions. Remember, gossiping is the way that we communicate to each other in the dream of hell and transfer poison to one another. Because we are afraid to ask for clarification, we make assumptions and believe we are right about assumptions. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make someone else wrong. It is always better to ask questions than to make assumptions, because assumptions set us up for suffering. The big mitot in human mind creates a lot of chaos, which causes us to misinterpret everything, and misunderstand everything. We only see what we want to see and hear what we want to hear. We don't perceive things the way they are. We have the habit of dreaming with no basis in reality. We literally dream things up in our imagination because we don't understand something. We make an assumption about the meaning. And when the truth comes out, the bubble of our dream pops, and we find out it was not what we thought it was at all. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. Welcome back. This reading highlights the dangers of making assumptions, a habit deeply tied to emotional suffering and misunderstandings. In reparenting, learning to question assumptions instead of blindly believing them is crucial. Many of us grew up in environments where we had to guess what others were thinking, or assume things about ourselves based on external reactions. This led to internalized self-doubt, misinterpretations, and cycles of shame. Breaking free from this pattern allows us to build closer and clearer communication, reduce anxiety, and develop a healthy relationship with ourselves and others. When we assume, we create narratives that may not align with reality, leading to unnecessary emotional pain. Reparenting teaches us to replace assumptions with curiosity, to ask questions instead of jumping to conclusions. This shift nurtures self-trust and emotional clarity, allowing us to respond to situations from a place of understanding rather than fear. By placing mindful awareness and direct communication, we free ourselves from old wounds and open to a more peaceful and authentic way of relating to the world. As we go into the journal prompts today, number 1, think of a recent situation where you made an assumption. What was the impact of that assumption, and how did it shape your emotions or actions? Number 2, how can you practice replacing assumptions with curiosity in your daily life? Write down a few ways to seek clarity instead of assuming. And number 3, reflect on a time when someone has made an assumption about you. How did it feel? How can you ensure you don't repeat that next pattern or that same pattern in your next relationships? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself and do be well. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you most comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time of day you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.